What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this video, if you guys have not seen my last video, today is kind of the update rebuild video of the ZH2. If you guys did not see or follow me on Instagram, unfortunately I did go down. It was a very small accident. It wasn't really anything crazy. Fortunately enough, I came out of it okay. The bike is okay. Everything is like perfectly fine. So anyway, today we're here just doing a little rebuild video for you guys. My last video did really good, probably because there's not a lot of things on the ZH2 on YouTube. Every time I do something to it, I want to kind of just put it out there for you guys, and just so you guys can have something about the ZH2 on YouTube, because there's really nothing on YouTube for the ZH2. It's very hard to find. But let me go over the damages real quick. If you guys have not seen my last video, let me show you guys a little bit of the damages and what we're going to be replacing today. We have the bar ends here that kind of got scraped up a little bit, and the lever, the brake lever, kind of just got bent up all over the place and just needs to be replaced. So we got some brand new ASV levers for the clutch and the brake. Down here, fortunately enough, no damages over here. The fork, I don't even have fork sliders. The bike is perfectly okay over here. Nothing touched. I'm not sure how. I just thank God for nothing else happening to the bike. But these puppies right here saved my behind, dude. Like, if it wasn't for these, my bike would definitely be totaled. So this right here took up all the damage. I haven't gotten new ones for those yet, because I'm thinking about getting a different kind. But dude, those absolutely saved me. And nothing else happened over here. The bike's completely okay up here. Down here as well, that's completely fine. Nothing touched here. These protectors, that's completely safe. The pegs did fly off, and then this got bent in a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. I can just bend that back. That's fine. And then the most expensive thing that got damaged is the exhaust. You guys can see right here, it kind of scraped a little bit and kind of punctured a little hole. I'm not sure if that's a hole yet. I'm going to start the bike and see if that's leaking, and then right there. But that's literally it, all the damages. Now we're going to start off with this right here. As you guys can see right there, Brock's Performance. I've been talking about this for so long. I've been talking about getting a Brock's full system on this bike for a minute now. And this right here was just the perfect excuse for me to go ahead and spend the bag on the Brock's. And shout out to Brock's, they really hooked it up. I hit them up and they worked with your boy and helped me put my hands on this for a very good deal. All right, guys, I got the exhaust fully unwrapped, and oh my God, dude, this is literally the sexiest exhaust I think I've ever seen. That carbon tip, ooh, say ooh, and that little green Brock's Performance thing is just literally perfect, dude. It's gonna match the bike so well. Cool, everything's here. I already checked everything and make sure everything is here, everything is good. And now we're gonna start disassembling this right here, this exhaust, the old exhaust. One of the main things you need to do is just remove this bolt right here that connects the radiator to that little bracket right there. Remove that. Remove this side panel here so you have your space to work with. After the radiator bracket and this is removed, you can go ahead and take your O2 sensor off. I got this little jack on there to help me later whenever the exhaust is actually off, since I'm by myself here and I'm kind of on the ground. So that's just a little floor jack, motorcycle jack. If you don't have one, you're fine. I just put that just to help me out a little bit, since my foot currently looks like that. So I'm just kind of hopping around a little bit still. And then also, while I was doing that, I also took this bolt off of here, off of my slip-on, and then also loosened that clamp so I can go ahead and get this slip-on off of the exhaust already. So after you remove that bolt right there on the exhaust hanger, and then you get your O2 sensor off, I have all my header bolts completely off. I should be able to just lower this down, and there he goes. Just lowering that down slowly, and then the exhaust should be freed up. I got the exhaust fully removed, and my bike might be a little bit different from your ZH2 because I do not have the cables for the exhaust valves. Those have been cut for me, and then they have been flashed off the ECU. So yours might be a little bit more tricky to get these cables off. And if you're doing the full system, you gotta either get a servo buddy, or there's a couple other different ways you can do it. So make sure y'all kind of do your research on that. I don't have to do anything because mine's already taken care of. So the bike right now is just fully naked, more naked than it already was. So now, and then another thing too, make sure you check for all your exhaust gaskets and make sure they're all in there. Some of them may fall off, but most of the times they'll stay in. If not, get a little bit of grease, put it on the edge of one of the rings, and then just push it back in there and it should be fine. All right, guys, I went ahead and looked through the instructions real quick. I just don't want to mess this up. It's a very expensive exhaust. So I went ahead and already took this little footrest and installed the bracket for the exhaust. These right here are red Loctited in, so they're going to be a pain to get off. So make sure you put a little blue Loctite on there or something before you put it back in. Now I had to assemble the exhaust. These right here, they slide on and off of the exhaust. And these right here, just so that like little couplings that you can put on the headers first and then just kind of slide this in, which makes it a little bit easier. Make sure that this little hole here is on the same side as this little hook here for the springs, because if they're not, then you have to take the exhaust off and then kind of move this coupling around. I'm just gonna get this assembled without the springs, and of course without that, that's gonna go on last. And then after this is assembled, I'm gonna set it up right there on the floor, make sure everything's good, test fit everything, and then go ahead and install it on the bike. So I got all of those little couplings, I got all of them in there, a thin layer of this gasket maker thing that already test fitted everything fits good. So now I just gotta start putting everything in. All right, so I went ahead and got everything kind of put back on, and oh my gosh, she looks so good with that carbon, matching the carbon all around the bike. I'm so hyped for that. And then I'm gonna get this carbon too eventually. I already got these fairings put back together, but make sure you put 2 springs over here, and then there's 1 spring here, and then 1 spring on each header. So there's 1 spring on each header right there. You put those in there, and after those are in, you tighten the bolts by hand, and then you put a little bit of the gasket maker, a thin layer on that, and then you slide the actual header pipes in one at a time, and then you connect the middle piece, and then you connect that finally, and then you go ahead and torque those down. The manual does say 16 foot-pounds of torque. All that's left to do is rub the exhaust a little bit with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, so everything is like nice and clean. There's no like fingerprints or any like, you know, stains, whatever on it once you turn it on and warm it up. Make sure everything's good. Take it for a little spin, make sure everything is still tight, and then make sure also that everything is fitting kind of, there's not like any plastics really close to it or like touching it. They have the exact measurements on the instructions manual, but make sure nothing's touching because it will burn off. I've heard a lot of people getting their exhaust fans completely like melted down. So make sure you guys keep an eye on that, and then if anything, so I've seen some people like trim it down to kind of prevent it from melting down, whatever. But I think it looks super awesome. I'm so excited to hear how it sounds. Let's go ahead and do the levers next. I got the brake pedal kind of pushed back out, and I kind of painted it a little bit so you can't really see the scuffs. So from afar, it kind of looks brand new. All right, guys, so here it is, the ASV brake lever, and I also got the clutch lever right there. As you guys can already got the original one replaced. All you gotta do is just pull this little pin out right here that kind of attaches to where this one right here is, and then you take this little bolt off. There's a nut here on the bottom, I believe that's a 10 mil. Yeah, guys, the quality on these levers are just absolutely insane. They feel so sturdy, they feel so like solid, and everything on it is just, everything just feels like quality. There's nothing on it that feels kind of like that was cheaply made. Like everything feels really good. It's got a good weight to them, and just the black and green kind of just matches so perfectly. All right, guys, we got the brake lever installed, and yes, it's super simple. This bolt here is a very like snug fit, but it does fit. You gotta be very precise to get that bolt in there. Once you get it in there, it fits perfect. You guys can see right there, ASV with the green dial. I think it's absolutely perfect. It feels so good. I don't know, I just love it. It feels very like there's no play on it whatsoever. Literally, like, if anything, it just sits better than stock. But Like it feels good, it looks good, it's like sturdy, there's no play. I did pay like $180 for the brake lever and the clutch. I think they were on sale for the Black Friday stuff, but either way, I think they're worth the money. They look good, and they're actually a quality product. The clutch side is the exact same thing. There's this one bolt here that kind of holds up the entire clutch, the clutch lever, and then there is a 10mm that I've already removed here from the bottom. This right is a little side-by-side of the OEM and then the new shorty ASV, and I did go with the shorty ones just because I feel like they're a good length. I feel like some of the shorty ones are like way short, but I have a buddy that has the exact same ones, and even on here you guys can see like it doesn't look that bad, and I can still like grip 3 fingers. Even if I wanted to like grab a 4th one in there, I really could, but I think I always use 2 or just 1 anyway, so these right here are just like the perfect length for me. But yeah, just so you guys see here the difference. The brake lever, make sure you replace the rod, the push rod. They provided one with the levers when you buy them, and then there's just the brake lever push rod, so make sure you go ahead and replace that. All you gotta do, you can pull this boot off, so you can pull this boot off and then just install the new one just like that. The levers are completely done, everything is working as it should, everything feels really nice, feels really comfortable. Now we'll go ahead and attack the pegs next, which is super simple, and then we're ready to go on our first ride. The pegs finally came in. As you guys can see, I have it installed here, and this peg, let me know how much you guys think. How much you guys think is a fair price to pay for this piece right here? It's like a little piece of aluminum, super cheap, super light. Not super cheap actually. I paid $80 for that. I paid $80 for this. $80, man. That's crazy. Anyway, got that put on. Bike is fully put together, dude. The only thing that it needs now is a little bubble bath, but other than that, she's fully done. Actually, God, I'm missing the bar ends. All right, I'm missing the bar ends. I know y'all waited long enough, so let's throw this bike outside, get her all cleaned up, and then I'll show y'all a full walk around of how this bike now looks in the new version of the ZH2. All right, guys, so there she is. She's looking so much better now. This looks 100 times better than last time. Then with the stock exhaust, you guys can see I got the carbon, and then the carbon, and then the carbon right there, which I think in my opinion looks so sick, kind of brings everything together. I just had to get this piece carbon now, but other than that, like, she's looking so much better. She sounds absolutely insane. I'm gonna let you guys hear it now in just a second. But yeah, guys, this is it. This is the full, well, not the full, because I still need this, but I got the levers on there, both sides. I love these ASVs. They feel so like sturdy, and like the green dye to match with everything else. And then the pegs, and then the exhaust is really kind of the main, kind of, you know, just taking the most attention out of everything. So, but yeah, guys, I'll let you guys hear it. Not a cold start, but sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and then stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna do a first ride review with the new exhaust and the new sound and everything. I just got my full MBT gear on, so I'm ready to go for another ride. So yeah, guys, stay tuned for the next video. Follow me on Instagram to see a lot more updates on this beauty right here.